many moons ago, he taught us straight footlock from the open guard, how to catch it. Footlock is incredible. There's only one problem. Sometimes when you go for the footlock against a taller opponent, it's not so easy. Stand up, please. So Hidon steps in, he wraps the foot, standard procedure, wrap, little foot adjustment, boom, he falls back. Now, Hidon's very tall, of course, so he can wrap the footlock pretty easily. But if the person's leg is pretty long, or they want to pull their leg out, the toe hold footlock is a great transition. Here's how it looks. Talk about the mechanics of the hands right there.
So, from the footlock, I hug this knee first, okay? And of course, this knee of mine is now driving that way a little bit too. I get to his foot, I push it, I want a 90-degree bend right here in his leg, and then my foot drops across his stomach. Now, from here, keeping the foot right here, I get up on my elbow, come through, hold my own wrist, and I remove my thumb. It was a thumb full grip, and now I remove the thumb. Keeping the toe in place, my body pulls his heel backwards. So, tight. Okay, the leg is bent. Hand cups the knee. Slide your arm, don't do this, because now the whole leg is gone. Keeping the elbow touching, right here, look. Keeping the connection.
Look how your body moves.
The hand slides.
Rotate so you can see your body move. Notice how Hidon's his shoulders are gonna move out of the way so he can reach the foot. And his legs are very tight while he's doing this. And then he gets that extended arm, and look at the bend right here. Look at the bend of my leg around his thigh.
His leg is stronger than my arm, but because my arm is straight,
I can't fight it.
You can't.
I would like to extend my leg right now and then pull it straight out, possibly, but it's not gonna happen.
and that's exactly why I need to have the leg bent so he can't pull it straight out.
Yeah, it's stuck right here over his thigh. And now, prior to the get-up, it's not a bad idea to do a little hip scoot, possibly in this direction, and then sit up and reach over all the way around.
Don't do this. See that? Leave it there. Get up on the elbow. Come through, hold your own. Remove the thumb. It's a very small motion, and it all stays right about here.
Can we catch it once? So standard, for those of you who didn't see the previous Gracie Insider several months ago, when Hidon taught the footlock, standard procedure is you want to get inside. Okay, you have to split the legs. Once you do, you don't want to make it too obvious. You want to just drop, get a quick wrap. I like to bring this foot across and step on the hip. Boom. Now, his knee can turn inward one of two ways. Sometimes they, in trying to pull their leg out, will turn this way on their own. Anytime the opponent turns his own knee inward, he exposes himself for a heel hook or for the toe hold. Now, another option, like Hidon was saying, is you grab their leg here and sort of force this leg across. And you do that with this inner thigh and this hand together. And you're kind of bending, you're twisting it here. Once you do that, of course, you're taking the wrap out, and now you just have a pinch here. Keep everything tight in the knee. This foot is okay to drop it across their stomach here, as long as you pinch your knees tight. And then now, open it up. Extend. I don't want to keep my body facing this way. I don't want to be here. Once I extend, I want to turn facing the foot. And that comes with a little hip scoop in this direction. Now I sit up, wrap over, and then remove the thumb as you squeeze here. Most common mistakes, for sure, on the break. Number one, it's the positioning of this hand in relation to their foot. If this hand is on top of his foot, look, if the fingers are on top of his foot and you're focusing on going over the top bone here of his foot, no good. My fingers must go around the corner completely. And this hand comes under and hooks my own wrist or forearm area right here. Once I have those, my wrists should do this. I like to curl my wrists in as I lift this elbow back, like Hidon said. The most common mistake here is people don't use the elbow pull. They just use the hands to break, and they try and they don't feel strong enough because you're using only forearm strength. When you use your elbow pull, you're holding his foot in one place, but then you're breaking with your whole body.
Yeah.
Right? The whole body is incorporated into the break. We should warn you now. The toe hold footlock. Toe hold footlock. And by the way, it's called toe hold footlock, but you're not actually holding his toes. Don't grab their toes. If you're grabbing the toes, you're in the wrong spot. Your pinky of your hand should basically be right next to the pinky of their foot. Okay, but you're not grabbing at either toe. You're right next to, look, to where it's at. Okay? So we go from here, under, remove right away, hold strong, hook the wrist, push the toes down, and lift the elbow back. Don't do this. Don't lay back. Okay? Because now you lose the angle of effectiveness, and their leg can possibly straighten out and then slip out. The key of the toe hold is the angle, and this is the angle. Roll. If he rolls, did you see what happened? My bottom foot clings on right there. Watch my bottom foot, freeze. This foot here holds. So no matter where he goes, we remain stuck. And now, boom. Like I was saying before, we should warn you now that the toe hold, this footlock that you just learned, or you may have already learned, hopefully you got some new details, is responsible for more foot injuries, more leg lock altogether injuries than any other submission. Agreed? It's not the most dangerous one. Knee locks are bad, heel hooks are bad, but this one here is responsible for more injuries. More training days have been missed for this footlock than any other footlock or leg lock. Why? Because kids learn them. 15, 16, 17-year-old little kids learn them. Catch grown-ups. The grown-ups' ego, they don't want to tap. That's what I see. Or at least that's what happened to me when I was a kid.
Yeah. He's talking about himself right now. He's the 15-year-old kid.
Anyways, so I was a young kid, right? I learned this footlock. I was excited. I caught grown men, and I would squeeze. And for two reasons, they wouldn't tap. Number one, ego. They didn't want to tap. Squirmy little footlock. I'm going to try to rip my way out and roll out of this. And as they did, pop. Ligaments gone. Number one. Number two reason they didn't tap is when this footlock happens, it isn't that painful for the most part. It's a little tight, and you're going to feel a little stretch, but it's not excruciating until it's too late. Like it's tight, 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 and pop. The ligaments here on the side of the foot, not much blood flow goes to the ligaments from what I understand, and therefore there's not much, I guess, nerve activity in there, and for some reason they don't feel it before it breaks.
And
Pops quick and easy.
because of this, whenever he catches myself or I catch him in a toe hold, we tap even before the person applies pressure.
Yeah.
And it's so easy to use, if you use your body correct and you use the whole arm,
You use the leverage.
it's gonna hurt so fast that we just yell tap sometimes. I can't even reach, hand up, tap, tap. I just start yelling and he'll stop.
Yeah.
It's not worth it.
Now, yeah, there are, of course, counters to this technique. Maybe one day you'll see them. GracieUniversity.com will teach all of them. But the moral of the story is, if you're catching this move on a family member or extended family member at your gym, go real gentle in the squeeze. If you're the one getting caught, don't be foolish. Tap before you feel the pain, because if not, it might end up being too late. So, key details, recap. The leg has to be bent. Okay, thumb, remove the thumb for a no thumb during the squeeze. Hook those wrists, but understand the major power comes from the body. Try to keep their leg bent the whole time.
Keep the foot on the ground as your body pulls back.
Don't bring the foot with you. Good point. And
If they roll, hook their leg with your foot.
that inside leg. Toe hold footlock. The beauty is, it doesn't matter if they're taller than you or you're taller, shorter. The height doesn't matter with this one as much as it does with the straight footlock. So for that reason, incorporate them, and those two together should take you to the top.